Welcome to another episode of Naija Football Talk, where we're going to be focusing on Super Sunday, the 24th of October 2021, where we witnessed something huge happening at Old Trafford. I mean, it was a milestone for Mo Salah as he became the best African goal scorer, the highest African goal scorer in the Premier League after, just 5 years of playing football in England. I mean, come on, it's quite a huge achievement for the Egyptian king, but there's still a lot to talk about. And when we come back from this short break, myself, Kolade and Bolu will be dissecting all of the information, including the huge something that happened at Old Trafford. Stay with us. My name is Chima. Welcome to another episode of Naija Football Talk.
Looking for the best websites for your next game day stake? TopBets.com.ng has the juice on all of Nigeria's best gaming websites from Nigeria's biggest gaming companies. Compare the odds and markets and make the best choice for you before you make your next stake. Check out game day reviews, previews, top tips, and predictions to help you make the best choice.
Welcome back to Naija Football Talk, and myself, Kolade and Bolu, are here to dissect the actions that happened on 24th of October 2021, Super Sunday. Like I said, something huge happened at Old Trafford, and that's what we're going to start off with. I mean, it's already almost should I say obsolete to keep bantering Manchester United under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but we cannot stop bantering them. But however, we're going to give it a break for this particular episode because Salah broke a record and set one, and also made a case to be one of the best signings in England in the past decade. I think in forever, and that's what we're going to be starting off with now. So Kolade, what do you think about that opinion? Do you think Mohamed Salah is the best signing to the Premier League in the past decade, or is it best signing ever considering his exploits?
In the past decade, I think yes, probably. I mean, when you look at how much he has improved the team, what he has done with them, led them to their first Premier League in decades, and they also got the Champions League as well, and he was also a key player in those triumphs. So I think in the past decade he has to be, but of all time, he's not far off actually of all time. But I mean, when you look at players like Thierry Henry and some other names, he's just maybe in the top 5.
Yeah, but considering the fact that Mohamed Salah is looking like he's going to play for longer at Liverpool, I mean, don't you think that he may eventually outscore or outperform all of these guys that you probably have in mind?
It's difficult to do something that Thierry Henry did, for instance, for Golden Boot, and he also did assists. I mean, he has the record for top assists as a forward as well. Won Premier League. He was also part of the Invisible Squad. So it's going to be difficult for Salah to match that one. But here's something for Manchester United fans. I'm not trying to be biased here. Salah has eclipsed Ronaldo's legacy. He is now better in the Premier League. He is a better winger than Ronaldo was in the Premier League.
I mean, the stats are there to prove it. The stats are actually there to prove it.
He has a better legacy than Ronaldo in the Premier League.
The stats are actually there to prove it.
And I dare say he is the best winger to play in the Premier League.
I think the only thing lacking for Salah right now is the titles. And if he continues at this pace, and if Liverpool as a team continues to perform at the level they are performing, then I think he's going to eclipse that record in no time. What do you think about it? Do you think Salah is the best signing to ever come to the Premier League in like the past decade?
Personally, I have a little reservations on that opinion. Why? Because he wasn't in the Premier League for the first time. His actual first move into the Premier League was underwhelming. Was regarded as a flop. So it was the second time that
he went to Chelsea. You guys almost made us lose such a huge talent.
Yeah, so
huge talent.
For that, I wouldn't say he's the greatest Premier League
because he did not work in your team.
No, because he did it on his second. At the second try, and for that, I think he's not the greatest, but he's definitely one of the greatest players, obviously greatest Africaners to have played in Premier League. So I think he's obviously also the greatest winger to have played in Premier League so far. And I think, the sky's the limit for him. He has so many years ahead of him. He has so much to still achieve in the Premier League on British shores. So I think we can't even put the ceiling on Salah's potential
right about now. And to think that he's still a young man, he's like 28, which means that at this rate, he still has like 3-4 more
And
peak seasons.
he barely gets injured.
Yeah, he barely gets injured. So he still has 3-4 more peak seasons to give to Liverpool fans and the Premier League, and it's beautiful to see. So what do you think about the title challenge this season in the Premier League? I mean, we at the beginning of this season, all of us were thinking that it's going to be a 6-horse race, 7-horse race. We were thinking that maybe Manchester United is going to come into the fray.
That was only Man U fans.
Exactly.
It was only their fans who ever thought.
I mean,
so.
even Arsenal fans too were thinking that they were going to end up in top 4.
They thought they were in the top 4 race.
But looking at how everything has ended, they went to the relegation spots and now they are dragging with the so-called
And United
title.
are the ones.
They are now dragging with the so-called title contenders anyway. But it still looks like it's a City versus Liverpool thing, because City is doing their thing on this side, Liverpool is doing their thing on this side. So what do you think?
I think City and Liverpool, they are the top names, but without being very objective, it would be wrong for you to ignore Chelsea. It will be very wrong for you to
current
ignore
table toppers.
Chelsea. I mean, one thing about Chelsea that I don't know whether it pisses me off is they can play badly, but they'll still get
the results,
which is the spirit of champions that you need. On a good day, on a bad day, get those points that matters the most. Arsenal, for instance, we can play so well and we'll still end up getting rubbish results. So I don't know. I think it's between City, Liverpool, and Chelsea. The rest are just pretenders and to fill up.
But do you see any dark horses? I mean, Brentford has been occupying the top 4 spots since the beginning of the season. So do you see any upset like that happening?
If there was ever going to be an upset, it would have been Man United, or maybe a Leicester, or maybe one of them. You can't. There are 3 super teams right now in the Premier League.
Yep. Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City,
and Chelsea. Those are the 3 super teams. In fact, on the world stage, those 3 are right up there. So you can't expect a shock. I don't see it happening anywhere. It's either of those 3, and that's it.
Okay. So I guess we cannot really predict who's going to be the top.
One thing I can tell you, we are going back to Champions League next season. It's coming back.
So you're
next season could be in 4 years' time. Well, there's always a next season.
There's always a next season.
Even in 10 years,
no matter how you look at it.
2022/23. We are
now
back.
You are being very specific.
Yeah, very specific.
Okay. Maybe
I'll hold you to your word.
We'll hold you to that and look at it from another angle in another show. All right, let's move on straight to La Liga, where on the same 24th of October 2021 we saw Ronald Koeman disgracing our fans. I mean, and the fans also gave it back to him at the end of the match, which was a bit distasteful, but it showed the kind of frustration that fans were already, that has already been building since the man took over. I mean, first coach to lose 3 straight El Clasicos, if my facts are correct.
Not to boast about with Chima, but the El Clasico has lost that factor that it used to have before.
Well,
yesterday, the fact that it happened when Liverpool and United were playing, I don't think a lot of people watched the game.
Well, that's just down to bad planning.
I tuned the moment Liverpool Man U started.
Exactly,
that's just down to bad planning among the UEFA. And whoever is in charge of TV scheduling and whatnot. But the truth is that El Clasico will remain El Clasico. I mean, it wasn't just a Ronaldo Messi game. It used to be a Ronaldinho Zidane game.
Spain on 23s.
Well, literally, it's a showcase of young boys. But the name El Clasico is something that it holds a lot of water for the fans of both clubs.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the distasteful happenings. I call it distasteful, and even though as a fan I'm really pissed at Koeman, and I'll probably stone him some tomatoes if I see him in real life. But what do you think about it?
Well, do you mean the fans stopping his car after the game? Yeah, it's something we don't. It's something we honestly don't like to see. I remember Steve Bruce recently when he got dismissed by Newcastle. He said some comments that the criticism he got from people got to him, that they were sending him death threats.
I was even saying it may be his last job.
Yeah, he said it may be his last job because he's too demanding. So I think last week or last episode was, I think it was World Mental Day, and we stressed to the fans that they should.
2 episodes ago.
Yeah, 2 episodes ago, we stressed to the fans that they should reduce their expectations. I mean, these coaches are only humans at the end of the day. So I don't know. I feel bad for Koeman, but I think he's getting what he deserves anyways.
Well, if we say he's getting what he deserves, it seems like a justification.
No, I'm not justifying what the fans did. I'm totally against it. But then,
I mean, he should be getting his criticisms, but not in the way he did. I mean,
obviously.
So, what do you think about Barcelona? You said you tuned into the Manchester United game, but I'm very sure you still caught some glimpses and everything. So, from what you saw, what did you think about the Barcelona you saw? I mean, I have a lot to say. My goodness. Sometimes I wish I was not the host of this show anytime we're talking about Barcelona. But
if you weren't, we'll be bantering you.
Oh God.
Full on.
You can't eat your cake and have it.
Exactly.
So just enjoy it.
I have a lot to say, but what did you think about the Barcelona you watched?
I would summarize Barcelona in one word: naive. They were so naive. They are very susceptible to counter-attacks, and it played the right into Madrid's hands. They've not improved that aspect of their
One
play.
bit, man.
And it's just... But I think on another hand, you have to Barcelona fans have to be realistic with themselves. All these years, we only saw that it was only Messi who was lifting this club. It was only Barcelona fans who were not, of course, Messi is there. But now that Messi is no longer, they don't have to be realistic. They have Koeman as manager. They don't have Messi. Be realistic, man. You shouldn't expect him to win El Clasicos. Just be realistic with yourselves. You are meetable club right
now, man. Right now, we're literally ninth on the table.
You need to accept that reality and try to build from it. And it's got to the point where Barcelona are playing big games and you don't expect them to win. And that's also the reality.
We've not won a big game since the Juventus away in Champions League last year.
Yeah.
Man, if you're a Barcelona fan and you're hearing
in
this
that game,
I'm
Messi
sure
scored
you'll
the penalty as
well. I'm
Messi.
sure you'll be tearing up right now. We've not won a big game since that very match. I mean, it's sad and it's pathetic. And looking at La Liga right now, even there's one thing that I always have hope as a Barcelona fan is that even when we are shitty, our title contenders, our title challengers always seem to be shittier.
You don't have the two Madrid sides. That's all.
They always seem to be shittier because right now Real Sociedad is topping the table after 10 games. This has not happened.
That happened last season as well.
It happened the same
yeah,
way.
They ended up out of the top 4.
Exactly.
It hasn't happened in a while that a team that is not Real Madrid, Sevilla, Atletico, or Barcelona is not sitting at the top of the table after 10 games. It hasn't happened in quite a while. But now we're having Real Sociedad keeping all of us out of the top spot, and it's funny.
Don't say all of us, say all of them, because you're not part of them.
Well, literally, I'm sitting ninth on the table. So, yeah. So, but at least that gives me hope. That gives me hope, man. And I hope something changes very soon. So, let's go over to Le Clasique, the first goalless Le Clasique in a while as well. And it also happened to be in the season where Lionel Messi played his first Le Clasique, and obviously he saw all the dangers and all the dangers, let's just put it that way, because the Clasique is a game that is very hot. In fact, it's one of the most heated rivalries in France and in fact in European football. So what did you think of the game in general, Bolu?
Like you said, it was a very feisty game. The Marseille fans, as we know them, they were giving the players their full all the heat, and if I got to a point where during the game, whenever anyone wanted to take a corner, they always had to have escorts protecting you from the missiles that are being thrown from the Marseille fans. And that just summarizes, how feisty
there was a pitch invader as well.
Yeah,
that was the funny. I saw the frustration on
Messi's counter.
Saw the frustration on Messi's face, like he was literally busting through on goal, and this young man felt like that was the best time to get a selfie. Come on, man.
And it just shows. It was a feisty game, and it shows that in France, that teams, I think the fact that Messi is there now, teams are even much more angrier when they play PSG, and they're so motivated to just stop them. You can't come and do all that.
I mean, they
were
dealing with Mbappe, they were dealing with Neymar, they were dealing with Di Maria. Now you brought in Messi, and you say, I guess that's the annoyance that a lot of teams are coming with. Yeah. I wanted to start with this, but because it's the elephant in the room, but I decided not to, so I just wanted to douse tensions a bit. But now let's address it. Why do you think Messi has not still scored in Ligue 1? I mean, this is his 5th or 6th game he started late with them, obviously, but this is his 6th game now and he hasn't scored. So what do you think is the problem? Is it Pochettino or is it Messi himself failing to adapt quickly to the league?
I think at this point I would say more of Messi, not really Pochettino, because he's scoring in Champions League. He has scored in Champions League, so a league is well familiar with. Opponents is familiar with, but the League One, probably the intensity is something he's not yet used to. If you look at Ronaldo, you say, he's eating it with Man U, but he has played with them before. He has played in Premier League before. Messi has played in Barcelona all his life, and this is something new for him. So, and if not just Messi, but PSG are struggling as a whole. At this time of the season, Mbappe was already on double digits. Now he's still somewhere
like 4 or 5
goals. So not just Messi, but the whole team are struggling on an attacking sense. And I think right now PSG are just averaging 2 goals in their last 3 games. So it's not just Messi, but it's the whole team. And Pochettino himself has some blame to take, and I don't see how Pochettino will last long with
it. Speaking of Pochettino, what do you think? Because his time with PSG has been marred by a lot of footballing controversies based on the fact that people say he doesn't know what team selections to make. People say his ability as a manager is overrated. What do you think as Pochettino as PSG coach so far?
I think we need to look at the PSG job in itself. Thomas Tuchel made some comments recently about them. He had said them before, but then repeated the same comments that managing PSG, he felt like a minister of sports rather than a coach of a team. You know, because there's so much fanfare in the club. There's so much, you know, that you have to manage so many things. You have to manage players, you have to manage friends of the players, their
family, Neymar's mom, Mbappe's
mom. Exactly, Neymar's.
I can imagine
Neymar's individual issues alone.
I can imagine Mbappe's mother calling him to ask, how far? Why is my boy not starting today?
You know, things like that. So I think the PSG job in itself is an institution. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Aside what happens on the pitch, and you know that any manager will struggle with that. But I still think the fact remains that PSG will be fine. This is their league. This is literally their league, and they have those 3 world-class attackers and Di Maria and guys like Di Maria, they would eventually perform. It just takes a while. They're human after all. It will take a while, but then when they hit their stride, no one will be able to.
Why me? I just said the only reason I said Pochettino won't last long is because I don't think they bought Messi to win the league. They've been winning the league before Messi.
So Messi was like a Juventus case.
Yeah, it was seen something as the final jigsaw in the puzzle to win the Champions League. So if peradventure they don't go far, if they don't get to the semi-finals or something, and maybe they miss out on the league again, I think Pochettino will be out.
And there's also the case of Neymar struggling to make impact since his comments at the international break that Brazil World Cup was going to be his last, and since then he's been really struggling, which has led a lot of fans to thinking that maybe the guy is actually really done with football, not just international football. Well, that's a topic for another day, but if you missed that, make sure you catch that episode to see what we said, to see our discussions on that issue. Super Sunday was quite awesome. It was really quite awesome. I mean, we would have bantered Manchester United to our heart's content today, but we didn't want to dignify them. I mean, Salah stole the headlines in the presence of Cristiano Ronaldo.
And lifted my FPL to the heavens.
Lifted me to the heavens as well.
So that's why we decided to focus on Liverpool's win instead of Manchester United's loss. And you're lucky, Manchester United fans, at least you find this episode bearable at the very least. So thank you very much for staying tuned with us. And when we come back from this short break, we'll be going into a very interesting segment which you're definitely going to enjoy. So stick around, click that like button if you haven't, share this with your people if you have not, and then wait for the next part. My name is Chima and we'll be right back.
Looking for the best websites for your next game day stake? Topbets.com.ng has the juice on all of Nigeria's best gaming websites from Nigeria's biggest gaming companies. Compare the odds and markets and make the best choice for you before you make your next stake. Check out game day reviews, previews, top tips, and predictions to help you make the best choice.
Thank you so much for staying with us up to this point in time. I hope you've enjoyed our discussion so far. If you've not shared it, please share that content right now, and I hope you've been enjoying it also enough for you to give us a like. And if you've not subscribed as you're watching this, please consider subscribing because you'll be enjoying more of this content when you do. Now we are going to be moving on straight into a very interesting part of the show. This is the first time we're going to be doing this, and this is Naija Football Talk Debates. Last week behind the scenes we had quite the time of our lives. I mean, when these two young men were having a go at each other about their strikers, Kolade supporting Arsenal and pitching Aubameyang against Bolu supporting Chelsea, who was pitching Lukaku against him, and it was quite the time of our lives. And now we've decided to bring it to Naija Football Talk before you guys to judge their opinions, to judge their banter, and see who can hold his own in a debate. So right now we're going to start off with Kolade's opening statement. Let's go, Kolade.
First of all, thank you for this, but I feel bad that I have to defend Aubameyang against Lukaku. I feel it's an insult to Aubameyang, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, wherever you are. I'm sorry you are being reduced to this, but don't worry, I got your back.
Nice one. All right, Bolu, opening statement, go.
We're about to compare Chelsea's record transfer with an Arsenal player. Let's see how this goes.
All right. They've both given their opening statements, which were, already giving you a sign of what is about to come. Now, let's throw the floor open right now. Obviously, both of them have their own agendas, their own biases and everything. But let's start with you, Kolade. Why exactly do you think this comparison is very unnecessary? And then, Bolu, you can follow it up.
It is very ridiculous, very unnecessary. For a start, Lukaku just ever scored up to 20 league goals for the first time in his career just last season, when he was probably the ball boy for Anderlecht or wherever he was playing. Aubameyang has done that all over. He has done that with Dortmund. Even when a world-class player like Lewandowski was in there, he came to Arsenal in his first full season. He won the Golden Boot. What do you need? He carried Arsenal 2 goals in semi-finals and finals, led us to the FA Cup. He's a proven goal scorer. He will win you titles. I don't need to go on and go on.
Okay. So we go on. You mentioned Aubameyang being a ball boy at Anderlecht. He was their top scorer when they won the league at age 18, an 18-year-old boy. Okay, let's not get too much ahead of ourselves. The Belgian league is not a top 5 league. Okay,
it's not even a top 10 league.
When Aubameyang went to replace Lewandowski at Dortmund, how many titles did they win?
He won. Get your facts right. He won a title.
How many?
He won the German Cup. He won the German Cup. He won the German Cup. Okay. But at least he won the German Cup. But Lukaku had never won anything in his life until last season.
On we go.
Yeah.
Lukaku left Anderlecht. He came to Chelsea. He had to prove himself. We all know how Lukaku took 10 years to come back to Chelsea. He has consistently proven himself, improved himself as a striker.
He was a flop at Manchester United.
Whatever you say, that's Man United. We're talking about
Aubameyang. We are talking about their player careers. They are not even close to each other.
The only place
Aubameyang has scored 20 plus goals for 7 seasons consecutively.
You said that.
Lukaku has done this only once in his career.
You already said that. Now let me go. While Aubameyang was flexing at Dortmund, Lukaku was trying to improve himself and become a real player, someone who will be taken seriously. He has proven himself at everywhere he has been. And he went to, at age 26, he went to the Serie A to prove himself, won the league title within 2 years, was one of the top scorers, was one of the best players even when Ronaldo was there. And now he has proven himself. He's back at Chelsea as the European champions. Aubameyang went from Dortmund, winning only 1 German Cup at Dortmund, replacing Lewandowski. That's such a big thing to do with your career. And then went to Arsenal to win FA Cups. Lukaku, my man, he's proving himself every single year. He has won a league title last year. He's at the peak of his powers right now. He's going to win more league titles at Chelsea. That's for sure. He's going to win more trophies at Chelsea. That is for sure.
But currently, Aubameyang
and right now, if we look into it, Aubameyang and Lukaku have similar career scoring ratios. So I don't understand the 20 goal passes.
I let you go on with all your shalaye and all of that. You said Lukaku is a proven what? Do you remember Lukaku at Manchester United?
That was
wait. I left you to go on with your ranting, bro. Lukaku was a big flop at Manchester United.
But he scored 40-something goals.
He was a big flop at Manchester United. He achieved nothing. He went to Inter Milan. And at Inter Milan, he managed just how many goals? Do you know Aubameyang? Do you know a finished Aubameyang had what Lukaku had in his best season? His worst is Lukaku's best. That is his worst is Lukaku's best. As Lukaku ever scored 20. Give me a yes or no.
Lukaku's best delivered a league.
As Lukaku ever scored 25 league goals in a season.
Delivered an FA Cup.
As Lukaku ever scored 25 league goals in a season. Even Vardy has done that. Even Olivier Giroud has scored more goals than Lukaku in a single season.
All right. So right now we're going to
when did Giroud score 25 goals in a season?
He has scored up to 20.
All right. So let us do this now.
Lukaku was winning league titles at the
Bolu, give us a closing statement for this issue. Why you think this comparison is rubbish?
Lukaku at 28 already has a more serious career than what Aubameyang is ending up to be. Lukaku wants to prove himself as one of the greatest goal scorers that we know in the Premier League. He's he constantly tries to improve himself. Aubameyang just wants to chill and enjoy himself. I mean, Lukaku wants to be world class, and he's proving himself every single year. And you can see it in his eyes. He wants to be the best, and he wants to keep winning league titles, not those FA Cups.
All right, Kolade, let's hear your closing statement.
Like I said, I'm sorry, Aubameyang, but like I always say again, I got your back. Bolu was comparing Aubameyang to Lukaku, and since that comparison, what did Lukaku do? He went on an injury for 3 weeks. I'm sure he was probably afraid. And when Lukaku went out of Chelsea, what did they do? They scored 7 goals. That means they are better off without him. In his past 2 games, Aubameyang has scored more than Lukaku has done in his past 7 games. Even in Aubameyang's worst this season, he has more goals than Lukaku, and he's still not in top form. Lukaku should be ashamed of himself right now.
All right,
I have already told you, Lukaku will not score Aubameyang at the
he should be
end of the
ashamed.
season.
Thank you so much.
And he will not get up to 20 league goals.
Thank you so much, Kolade
He's going
and
to
Bolu.
outscore Aubameyang at the end of
Thank
the
you so
season.
much, Kolade
That
and
still
Bolu,
stands.
for this argument. Thank you for this debate, rather. Thank you so much. All right, thank you so much, Kolade and Bolu, for this discussion. I mean, as you can see, I'm all smiles because I'm in the middle of such passionate gentlemen that is giving me some chills, to be able to digest all of this football knowledge from these gods of football. I mean, it's quite a privilege to be here.
Mr. Bolu.
It's been very fun, and it's a precursor to something that's coming. So I hope you're enjoying this content right about now. Please share it with your friends and your family. And when we come back from this short break, we'll be wrapping up this week's episode of Naija Football Talk. And that's it on this week's episode of Naija Football Talk. I mean, something huge happened on set, as you can see. As you guys noticed, I mean, it was quite the cracker of the show, from the Super Sunday to the discussion to Aubameyang versus Lukaku mini debate that we had, which is a precursor to something that is coming very soon. Special thanks to our sponsor, stopbets.com.ng, for helping us keep this on the show. And special thanks to you guys, our viewers, our audience, who keeps on interacting with our content. We love you, we appreciate you, and help us as we begin our journey to 3,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for being with us once again. And from myself, Kolade, Bolu, who will probably go backstage and continue their arguments. Stay jiggy, man. Stay jiggy.